Hello YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of Air Hauler, the overview. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, then I suggest you go back and check part 1 out, because that basically introduces Air Hauler, tells you what it is, how it works, and goes through all the various screens, etc. But in part 2, this is where I'm actually going to select a job and then fly the job to the destination and drop the cargo off, etc. Air hauler, just in a nutshell, is basically it puts you in charge of a air freight company, an air cargo company, and it works hand in hand with FSX. But like I say, I'm not going to go into too much detail of that again, because that's all covered in part 1. So again, this is what you see when you first launch Air Hauler. Now, if you remember from part 1, I set up this company here, YouTube Logistics, with the chief pilot of Bob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, yep, okay, we're going to load that company. Company loaded successfully. Right, okay, there we go. It says, welcome back, YouTube Logistics. We have 1 aircraft, 1 base, 1 pilot. Reputation is 40%. That's because we haven't actually flown any jobs whatsoever yet. We've got 95 grand in the bank, and we're worth 197.5 grand. So that's all pretty good. You can untick that option if you don't want that to show every time you start up. So the first thing we're going to do is to go to the jobs board and see what jobs we have. Now, we opened a base in Retford in Gamston, if you remember. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this filter option here and say outbound from bases, which will basically show me all the jobs from my bases. Now, because I've only got the 1 base, it's only going to show me our 1 base at Retford. And these are all the various jobs, where the places where we can go to, what kind of cargo we're going to be carrying, and how much we're going to earn for flying it, etc, etc. Now, because this is just, it's not, this video is not a video about flight sim, it's a video about air hauler. I'm just going to choose the shortest job, I think, or one of the shortest jobs, because I've actually got this arranged. I've clicked on this distance column, which puts the jobs in order of distance. So I think Mepishal, I'm not entirely sure where Mepishal is. Mepishal, down there somewhere. I think I'm going to go to Cromer. Probably take that one. Actually, no, I'm going to take herbal remedies, because that's a little bit higher. You get 3,717 for taking some herbal remedies to Cromer. Sun cream to Old, where's that? Old Buckingham? Oh, Buckingham. Okay, that's over there. That's 4,000. Actually, that might be worth it, but I don't know. We'll stick with Cromer. I'm going to go for Cromer. Herbal remedies. I quite fancy that. Now, you see here as well, this column here, it says that delivery is expected in 23 hours 44 minutes. Now, I'm actually recording this in the daytime, in the morning, so I'm not worried about flying in the dark. I have got the flight sim set to real time. I'm using real weather as well with Active Sky Next. So I think what we'll do is we'll take this job with, if we wanted to, if we find the weather is bad or whatever, then we could land, we can refuel, and then we can carry on. As long as we complete the job within this 23 hours and 44 minutes, everything is fine and dandy. Right, okay, so let's accept this job. Actually, we can get a bit of a rundown as well about the airfields here. We know that our existing base at Retford already has runway lights. What about the runway at Cromer? Okay, it's got 4 runways, all of them are grass. The longest one is just over 2,000 feet, so I reckon we might probably choose that one, either 22 or 4. So I think we're good to go there. Right, I'm going to accept the job. Accept this job, yes. Job accepted and added to my jobs list. So if we go to my jobs, there we go. Now we see the display of this job that we just accepted. There's the flight plan, or the flight path if you like. We want to obviously choose fly selected jobs ourselves. We don't want to fly with an AI crew. So we've also got the option up there. So I'm going to click, I'm going to highlight that, and then fly the job. I don't know whether it gives any other information down here. Nah, it doesn't. So I'm going to fly now. Okay, so there again is a brief summary of everything. We've got cargo to deliver, that's what we're delivering. Altitude, I reckon 3,000 will be fine. I don't think we need to go any higher than that, to be honest. I'll keep it low and slow. We might see something along the way. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to actually fly this flight in real time on this video. I'm going to basically take off, get everything loaded, take off, and then cut the video, and then we'll come back to the video again when I'm on finals or when I'm on approach. Right, so we can close show briefing as well. Here's the briefing. Something it hasn't done for them, I don't know why. It has done on previous attempts. It's actually put in my the estimated fuel and everything like that, but I'm not too worried about that. We're okay. Right, click OK. Now we can load things. So what we need to do is we need to load the cargo to start with. So we need to click the load button. There we go. That's got all of the herbal remedies loaded, all £413, I think it was. Yeah, there we go, £413. Now we need to load some fuel. Now we've got about what, 90 miles roughly, nautical miles. I'm gonna put some about half of the fuel in, I think, just to give us plenty of fuel so that we don't keep getting the low fuel warning all the time. So there we go, about what, 3 hours worth? That'll do. Estimated range 341 nautical miles, more than enough, more than ample to cover this short hop, but that's fine. Cost of fuel £143. I mean, if you were doing this, I guess, as a career, you know, as a proper serious career. I've only got this career just to actually show you how it all works. But I'm guessing if you wanted to be a bit frugal and a bit thrifty, you can obviously load the fuel to exactly how much you want, with obviously a little bit for contingency. But you would probably not load as much fuel as I am now, and therefore you'd pay less for the fuel. But anyway, I'm going to do that. So we're going to click OK. Fly now. Fuel has been loaded by the ground crew, with a nice ka-ching sound as well. We'll click OK. I'm going to go for ramp 6 because I think that's where I've actually loaded the aircraft at, or saved the aircraft position at ramp 6, I think, at Retford. Click OK. We'll see how long the terrain data takes to load. Sometimes it's fairly quick, sometimes it's like 5 minutes. It just depends what kind of a day it's having. Right, we'll give it a few more seconds to load. If not, I'll cut the video and come back to it when it has loaded. 30%, it's getting there. It's getting there. Right, I wonder if while it's doing that, I wonder if I can actually move air hauler. Let's just see, put that off the screen for a second. There we go, nice one. All done. Okay, so let's just check the fuel and payload. Make sure everything's happy there. Change payload. So we've got myself, which is £170. This is all the cargo weight. If you remember, it should add up to 413, and it does. 2, 3, 4, 4, 7, 4, 10, 4, 13. So that all adds up, plus myself, of course. And then if we go back to fuel, we've got about 50% of fuel. So we're all good. We are all good. Right, so let's just start up this. Okay, so why have we got the master switch on? That shouldn't be on at the moment. So we'll put mixture to full. We'll crack the throttle a little bit. We will put the trim to neutral there, or takeoff position basically. Okay, everything's off. Avionics should not be on there either. That's off, that's okay. Okay, let's just start up. And we have the beacon lights on, navigation lights on. Now we can start her up. I assume that the fuel selector is set to both. Yes, it is. Right, let's start this bad boy up. And there we go. Springs into life. I'll leave that about 1000 RPM. That's okay. Which is that one there. Let it idle for a couple of minutes. So we'll now put the avionics master on. We could put the tax lights on as well. Why not? Okay, that's all good. Now, if I load the GPS, there we go. So Chroma is EG2Z. I look here. EG2Z is the code for Chroma. So I've already put that into the GPS. If we take the range, oops, zoom out a bit. There we go. We can see things now. It's actually an 85 nautical miles trip, as you can see, top right there on the GPS. All we have to do is follow that line, basically. If I put that out, let me undock the window, slide that out of view. Good. Right, I'm not going to use any ATC. Just going to keep things simple. Get rid of that. Let's just make sure everything works. Flight controls are all good. Yeah, and pedals, all good. Right, so let's find out what the weather is here in Retford. So it's about 17 degrees, surface winds 150 at 9 knots. Right, let's go for it. I've released the parking brakes. Now then, can we fit through there, or do we have to... I think we'll whiz round here. We can probably fit through there. Right, so you can see there we've already got a message from Air Hauler. It says taxi and takeoff, which is what we're going to do. We're looking at 2-1, so we need to come round here. I'm going to taxi on the grass because it's a light aircraft, quite happy on grass, the Cessna. And just saves a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is to get in the air, and then we'll cut the video and we'll come back to it when I'm on finals, or on the approach stage. Bouncing on the grass. Let me get rid of that top menu, there we go. Okay, so we're at the holding point. Let's just go back down to here, put the landing lights on, strobe lights on, taxi lights off, and we're all good. How long is that runway? I'm just wondering, I think I might actually go to the right and use the full length of the runway. So it's actually quite clear. I'm using the real weather, and according to this, at least, to Active Sky Next, at Retford right now, not a cloud in the sky. It's actually very nice weather. Perfect day for flying. Right, I think that'll do us. We line up with the runway now. There we go. So let me just quickly bring in the GPS again. There we go. So you can see that once we've taken off, we need to be doing a left-hand turn onto a track of around 107 degrees. Right, let's go for it. Here we go. Next stop, Chroma. Try and keep it on the centre line as much as possible if we can. Wants to pull to the left a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, let's get airborne. And we're away. Right, so we'll bank round to the left. Now we've got another message there from Air Hauler. En route, fly this sector and land at your destination. That's what we intend to do. So again, I'm just going to quickly bring in the GPS just so you can see. There we go. So I've done a left turn Just going to trim down a little bit, try and maintain 80 knots. Like I say, this particular video is not about flying, so I've probably not done everything by the book. In fact, I'm certain I've not done everything by the book. I haven't done a run-up or anything like that. But I'm not too worried. This is just a video to show you air hauler. That's the important thing. So there we go. We're en route. We've taken off. I'll cut the video now and see you again when we're on approach. Alright guys, welcome back to the video. We're en route, we're almost at Cromer now. Actually we're 14 nautical miles away, as you can see from the GPS. The weather is taking a little bit of a turn as well during the flight. We've now got some cloud and it's a bit bumpy up here as well. As you can see, we're bouncing around like a good one. But we're flying along the coast now into Cromer. Cromer has got a runway 24, which is 240 degrees. So I think given the weather, which according to Active Sky Next is around 189 degrees or thereabouts, I think we're going to take runway 24. So currently we're flying on a heading of about 122 or something like that. 126, there we are. It's just set when I mouse over it. So what I'm going to do is to kind of veer off to the left shortly. And then fly into runway 24. So the course that we're on at the moment will take us straight over the airfield, so I don't want to do that. So basically I'm going to swing round to the left and then come in to the right on runway 24. So that's the plan. So we're about 12 nautical miles away now, as you can see. Something I discovered as well in air hauler, if I just bring air hauler back in, what you can do, if you can go to the ops screen while you're in flight and go to the map view, there we go, you can tick show airports and then you can scroll in all the way, and we're actually going to Echo Golf 2 Zulu, which is there, Cromer. Now when you click on it, you can see it gives you information about the airport. So the longest runway is 2,014 feet, it's grass. Landing fee, this is what we're going to get charged for landing here, so £184.29. I think that varies depending on what kind of aircraft you are by the looks of it. I haven't tried that out yet, I have to admit. Although you're not going to get, I don't know, because you're not going to get 747s landing on grass. So I'm not entirely sure what those three different figures are. I have to be honest with you, I'll have to check that one out. That's your price of your fuel. If you want to get avgas, then it's 487. If you want jet fuel, it's 358. So that's your information that you can get if you want to while you're en route about the various airfields that you see en route. Okay, so let's just bring this in. So we've got 10 nautical miles, actually 9 nautical miles now, and we can just see Cromer at the top of the page there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing round. In fact, we might be able to see if I can zoom in and see Cromer. Bear in mind it is a grass airfield, so we're probably not going to see it too clearly. So I'm going to swing around. I'm going to turn the autopilot off now because we have been on autopilot just to make life a little bit easier basically during flight. So I'm going to swing around to the left. And I'm also going to descend as well. So we're actually running parallel or thereabouts roughly now to runway 24. And it really is bumpy. As you can see, we're getting thrown about quite a lot up here. Very, very bumpy. Now I'm just looking around to see if I can see any airfield yet. Can't see it just yet. I'm just going to zoom out on GPS a little bit. Out to 5 nautical miles. And that should be enough I'm just going to come back in again now. I don't want to go too far away from the airport, or airfield as it really is, not really an airport. Wow, it's so bumpy. It really is. Right, I'm going to put a notch of flaps in as well, I think. If I can find the flaps. Where are they? Oh, there they are. They'll be hidden behind that one. I might have to go to a different view to... There we go. There we go. It's got a notch of flaps in. Right, so we're running now basically at 90 degrees to runway 24. A little bit more power in. There we go. Now I'm looking now, see if we can see the airfield. Can I see a strip anywhere? It should be kind of over there somewhere. That might be it in the distance over there. We're only about 4 nautical miles away, so it shouldn't be that far. Looking for it. Looking. All part of the fun of VFR flying this. It's going to descend a little bit more. Trim down. The clicks you can hear, by the way, are me just using the buttons on the yoke. So there's plenty of green fields around here, but looking for this runway. The trouble is with grass strips, they are quite hard to find in FSX. They are notoriously hard to find, grass strips. Just trying to keep the aircraft a bit steady as well. It's really getting thrown around. I'm having to fight with the controls here. Right. That could be it there, maybe. Wow, so difficult to see. I'm literally only a couple of miles away, so... Ah, there it is. I think I've spotted it. I think it's that one. Where did I see it? There. I think that's it. I hope. Yeah, I think that's it just there. So difficult to see. Sometimes it's easier to see from an external view, but we'll see. We'll try and work it out. Just want to watch my speed. I don't want to let my speed fall too much. Again, I must emphasise this is not a video, this particular one, about flying. This is a video on air hauler. Right, I think I've seen the runway there. Could have actually picked a calmer day to do this on, but... Right, I think we've probably passed it. Let me just let me swing round and have a look-see. We might have to do a kind of circuit and go over. It should be over here somewhere.
500.
It could be that. That's it there. I think I've spotted it. So I'm going to put another notch of flaps in, if I can, which is that one there. All good. There it is. That's the runway. Where's it gone? I thought I saw it. Oh, there it is. Got it.
Minimums.
We got it. We've got it. A little bit of an unconventional approach, but you know, we do what we have to do. There we go. What a little airstrip. Wow. Okay, let's just set this up. And in we go.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, down you come. There we go, we're down. Wow, a bumpy landing on grass. Right, now there we go. Now you can see in the top left, it says taxi and park. Landing was a greaser, so I'm quite happy with that after that little unconventional approach, but we got down in one piece. Now where we're going to park, that's the thing. There's some aircraft up there to the left. A helicopter, yeah, helicopter to the right. Let me just quickly zoom down and put my flaps up. There we go. So that's the other runway there. We'll just park up somewhere around here. Anywhere near these aircraft. So welcome to Cromer. I hope there's some people here that are ready to take delivery of these goods. Oh, there's somebody here standing. Hiya, mate. I think that's somebody. Looks like they've got tables and chairs out there. Right, let's put the parking brakes on. Let me turn my track IR off, and we will cut the engines. So it says there, you have cargo to offload. Please Alt-Tab back to air hauler to offload your cargo. So what we'll do, first of all, we'll just get things off here. Turn the strobe lights off, beacon, landing lights, etc, etc, etc. Get everything good and safe. There we are. Everything off. Okay, so if we bring air hauler back now. So now it says load or unload cargo. So what we do is we click this. There we go. We now click on the cargo and then click unload. The handling agent accepts your cargo. You have completed this job. Yay! And a round of applause as well. Job completed. Job done. Right. Would you like to stop flight monitoring and return to the job screen? Yes. Now here we go. We've got the flight report. So our pilot is Bob, piloting a 172 Skyhawk. Departed EGNE, which is Retford. Arrived Echo Golf to Zulu, which was Cromer. So there we are, we took off at 10:16, arrived at 11:08. 52 minutes of flight. Today's date, 26th of July. If you remember me telling you in part 1, everything is real world time in air hauler. So takeoff fuel, we started with 158 pounds, landed with 128 pounds, 120 pounds, and we only used 38 pounds. So again, if you remember at the start of this video, I said we had way too much fuel for the flight. So, you know, once you start flying and you get more experience, then obviously you can load as much or as little fuel as you need just to actually complete the flight, with some contingency, of course. We flew a max altitude of 3,045 feet. That's your pitch and your roll figures, max speed 115 knots. Our fuel burn was 43.85 pounds per hour. Landing data, vertical speed was 136, which I'm quite chuffed about, no damage. There was the wind, 192 at 10 knots. Had a little bit of a roll, but not too bad. Surface was grass. So there we go. That's the flight report. I'm quite happy with that. Now what we can do now is we go back to completed jobs. Now we can see the job that we've just completed. If I just expand the window a little bit. Right. So this is the job we've just completed. Again, a summary, 85 nautical miles, what we were carrying, herbal remedies. I hope they liked their herbal remedies down in Cromer. I hope they liked it. 100% condition, everything's good there. Graphs and stats. Now here we go, we've got one job completed. We've taken 413. That's because we've only taken one job. It's only showing us that one figure. And aggregate data. There we go. Again, because we've only got the one job, there's only one thing showing here. But as you fly more and more, obviously this builds up and you get lists here. I think what you can also see is, if we go to flight log, that's the other one. So that's the first one. If I just move that over here a bit. Some of them you have to expand because they do quite a lot of, take up a lot of screen area. I know you've got your scroll bar here, but I like to see everything all in one go. So again, a summary of basically the flight report of what we've seen in kind of a row format. Just a summary of the job. Airports visited. Now we've visited Cromer, so that's listed here as well. So that's about it. As I say, once you've done that, finance as well, I suppose I can show you the finance report there as well. Base rental charges. Now again, because we haven't actually, we only opened this base last week, or in terms of real time, the next rental is not due until 19th of August. Leasing charges, we're not leasing any aircraft at all. Fuel pricing, that's how much it costs, etc. So there we go. That is Air Hauler. That's it in action, if you like. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please tick the like option or the like button and subscribe to the channel. I shall be doing more flying in future, definitely. In fact, I may see how things go today. I may actually do another flight today, a proper flight in another aircraft. We'll see how things go. But that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've liked Air Hauler. Go ahead to justflight.com and purchase it. I think it's still $24.99 at the moment, Air Hauler. And yeah, run and maintain your own air cargo company. Why not? It's something different to flying passengers, I think. Alright guys, take care until the next video. See you later. Bye bye.